Hi guys. So I have just a couple of things that I want to catch you guys up on. Um, I have clothes here. I want to say hi. I'm just on a live, so I'm kind of doing a video, honey. Do you want to say anything to people?
Hi.
I'm sharing. I'm connecting. I'm going to give messages, and then we're going to do some healing work.
How do you do that?
You know how to do healing work?
You're going to heal them?
Well, they're going to heal themselves. I'm just going to hold space for them. Do you have anything you want to say before you leave? She's going to be reading with her mom right now, so I'm just giving her some opportunity to express and say anything that she might want to share with you guys.
Peace and they say they concentrated on what you guys do.
Oh, thank you. I love that. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she said, want to repeat it?
I mean, more people on the line.
No, I know, but it doesn't watch it back. So it's okay. Just whatever message we give to them now, they can watch it later. Did you want to say that again?
But I hope you stay focused in whatever you want to do, in your career, or anything that you're studying to do, and that you'll be safe and always guided by one Father, one Mother, and always be aware of mistakes and make sure you know what you're going to do before you go.
Yes, thank you for that. I love that. Okay, I love you. See you next time, okay? Love you, honey. Okay, so just want to jump on here and connect with you guys. It's been a while. As you guys know, there's so much going on, so much happening, and I just feel it's a good opportunity to check in with you guys and see where you guys are at. How are you guys processing? And, you know, again, it's all about connecting and guiding each other through this process. And so as I bring messages, it's always with the intention of supporting you guys and holding space for you guys as you navigate through these times. You know, I get, for those of you who are very, you know, new to my channel, I've been getting prophetic messages over the last few years. I'm normally working as an intuitive or spiritual guide, and the last, you know, almost 3 years when all this happened, I started receiving prophetic messages, and how that came to be for me was that, you know, one day out of the blue, I connected to who now I know very well who he is, and some of you may know who he is too. And so who I'm talking about is Tim Clement. And he's a prophet, so he's no longer with us, but when he was alive, he, you know, pretty much was just an amazing person, did a lot of God's work, and brought messages that are now coming to, you know, they're coming to pass. And so he came to me during, you know, he was pretty much a visitation during one of my sleep times. And I had no idea who he was. I just heard his name very loud, very clear, Tim Clement. And I woke up and I was like, whoa, okay, who is this? So from that point forward, he started showing me. He started, you know, giving me a word. He started showing me revelations as far as what was to come, what we were going to go through. And so very early on, I understood and I knew that a lot of what is still happening, you know, it was all smoke and mirrors. It was all of it was, you know, majority of things just are not true, and it was controlled by the evil people, right? It's the evil people that are putting all these restrictions and fear into the people. So I began sharing messages for the sake and the intent of guiding everyone through this process, and you know, here I am, still a few years later, unfortunately, bringing messages as they come through. I will say they have slowed down a lot, partly because I asked Creator, I asked, you know, I can't continue receiving messages. It was really affecting me negatively, my energy. I was depleted. I was just not feeling well because it does take a toll. And the other part is that, I just feel that they're slowing down because the whole process and what we're going through is also starting to shift. And I don't want to slow down, but we're going into a different turn of what we're experiencing. And so let me start just, you know, before I get really deep into it, I also want to just share and say that the intention for this video is also to bring, or to offer, I should say, distant healing, and I'm going to do that in the form of sharing the EE systems. And what it does is it helps you, just helps you heal. Helps your body do what it wants to naturally do, which is heal itself. So I will do that at the end for those of you who don't want to listen to all the messages and want to receive the healing of the systems. Then you can kind of just go through the whole beginning of it and then go to the end and receive the healing from the systems. The other thing I want to say is I appreciate you guys that you support, and you appreciate the messages and just the way I've been showing up, and you can support me. I appreciate you. Any donation that you can offer and help me out with, I greatly appreciate you guys. And lastly, everything that I say here is, they're coming through. I'm again just bringing prophetic messages, and they're not set in stone per se. Well, the prophetic messages pretty much are. As you've seen the videos, they've all been happening and coming to fruition. But then also I get intuitive downloads, and those downloads are not set in stone. So the difference is that prophetic word, it comes straight from the Lord, straight from God. The intuition is me feeling into the energy of what's going on, and I'm navigating through that present energy. So the prophetic insight is like things that haven't happened in the future, and the intuition is based on what's going on right now. And so whatever's happening now, that's the intuition, what I'm picking up, the psychic insights. And those are not set in stone. Those are subject to change, because if, for example, I'm sharing with you guys information, then you have the opportunity to do with it what you guys want. And what I mean by that is that you have free will, and then so you have choice, right? You have choice, and if something doesn't resonate, you can make different choices, so that it doesn't have to affect you guys. Just like in the past, I was talking about, free will, not complying, not listening to those people who think they have authority over your body, over you, and not to comply. So those are the insights that I'm receiving. That if we collectively stick together and we don't comply, then the outcome shifts. The things that they want to implement or push on us won't happen. And so these are very important things for you guys to be aware of, because again, the whole point of these messages is that I want you guys to remember and know that you guys have free will. You guys are powerful beings, and that nobody can tell you guys what to do with your body, how to live, right? So that's an important thing for you guys to remember, and to always walk in that energy, honoring self, being in integrity with the things that you do. Make sure that they align with things that you want for yourself, for your family, for your future. And if it's not wearing this for the rest of your life, then don't wear it. It's pretty much that simple. And yes, things could potentially get nasty from time to time, depending on who's trying to enforce it, right? But we're so far into this now that they know better, even though they're still trying. As I said before, they're going to continue trying to do what they can, because as you guys see, so much has already come to the surface. It has been revealed, and they have nowhere to go no more. So that's where we're at now. We are at the point where it's no longer about to get exposed. It's all out on the table. It is exposed. And one of the prophetic insights that I received, which was about a week ago, is I saw a huge cross, like a really, really huge cross up in the sky. And again, this is revision, not like really out in the sky. And so I asked God, what are you showing me? What is this? And so what I heard is the wrath of God is among us. And although it sounds really scary, it actually is a great thing, because that means those who have turned their backs, those who have been, trying to make him a fool, those who have not been listening to God's word, or God's guidance, and have been, really trying to hurt us and push all this evil on us, are are gonna are gonna start seeing the wrath of God. So that's what that means. So it's not for those of us who are living in a good way, doing right by, others. No, we are finally going to start seeing, um, these bad people get put away. Um, However, I will tell you that it's still not done, because it has to get cleared out, and clearing out is a lot of times the most work, right? So it's kind of like when you move and you packed everything up, and you think, okay, well, let's just move out now, and you moved out, but then there's still the cleanup after that. So we're still having to go through a process of, cleaning up and then restoring. Because remember, after a storm, there's a lot of destruction, and so then the restorative process has to come in, and that means, the healing for so many, that unfortunately are going to have this, really rude awakening. I know a lot of them are finally coming into the realization of, what that they've been lied to, and what they've done to themselves, to their body, and that's going to be very tough on them, because, many of them are already experiencing and seeing the negative effects, and there's going to be more of that, because we're a year into the people who have chosen to do that, to implement the jab. A lot of them are now seeing the results of that, and unfortunately, it's kind of like the beginning of that. So again, there's a lot of healing that's going to be needed. So yeah, just kind of pay attention. As you guys know, she just announced she's going to be running again in 24, but there's still a whole year between now and then. That is why the last message that I shared with you guys was about how, how after there's a tidal wave, but then when it comes, like it pulls back, and I had used that analogy, but then it like comes and really comes in, and that's when the most damage is done. And that's what they're going to try to do, because they know their time is very, very, very limited. So again, they're trying to do as much damage as possible on their way out. And a year is a whole long time for them to do as much as they can. However, what I do also see is that, she has put things in place so that there's not that much damage happening. So in other words, like, damage is probably going to happen. It already is happening. However, he's been preparing for the restorative phase to be a lot easier. So that means, what does that mean? That means, like, perhaps, he has, because what I'm seeing is kind of like a warehouse, or like containers or something like that, of stored food, stored energy, stored. So I feel like he put things in place so that when he comes back, it's not going to be too hard. Even though again, it's going to be a process, but it's also up to us. And that's why I've been saying over and over and over again that if you start, planting the food, if you, you really started doing the work now, that during that hardship, during that process, then it wasn't going to be as difficult. So hopefully you guys, listen. Hopefully you have your provisions and all that I've been talking about over and over constantly, because I know by now you see why I was saying all that. So that's that part. And yeah, just again, hang in there. I'm still offering services. I'm offering, um, just different things in community. So if you're not part of our community and you are looking, searching for community, we have, we're taking applications for members now for the ministry. So our ministry is slowly growing. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm just excited to expand and, hopefully, um, soon we can get a place. The vision is to get land and have a place where community can come and gather in prayer, in healing, and just really support each other. So I'm really, holding the space for my vision, for just this center to have, like the retreat to be a healing space for everyone to come. So again, if you guys have it in your heart to be able to help with helping me achieve that vision, I appreciate any donations that you can contribute to the church, to the ministry, so that way we can give back to community. So, that's all for now as far as the downloads and where we're at. And the next, few minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around if I know how. I don't do these lives very often. And I'm going to just let you guys experience the EE systems, which again are scalar and photon waves that will really just help your body heal. So just set your intention, open up your energy, open up your heart, and for the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to allow, for it to be recorded. Thank you, as always, blessings. Love you, till next time, I hope.